We're Batman at 89.
Hello, and welcome back once again to Bat Minutes 89, the podcast where we're analyzing, scrutinizing, and foisting flowers upon Tim Burton's 1989 Batman movie 1 minute at a time. I am one of the hosts, Niall McGowan.
I'm that other guy who appears 3 days a week, John Parker.
And today we're joined by filmmaker and YouTube vlogger, Stephanie Palacino.
Yep, that's me.
Oh, I was really worried. I was like, oh, I've never said your last name before. It's like, oh, God.
My surname has multiple pronunciations. Actually, it is two, not multiple. There's two versions. both are actually acceptable. I accept both.
Yeah. What I said, was that one of the pronunciations?
That's one of them, yes, that is
correct.
Thank
God.
It's because it's an Italian surname, but, like, my family is, of Spanish-ish origin also, so the Spanish way of pronouncing it is Palacino, and then the Italian way is Palacino, and both are fine.
Oh. But, today we're here to talk about minute 76 of Tim Burton's Batman. Minute 76 begins with Bruce Wayne kind of going, huh. And it ends 1 minute later with Vicki going full blast on Bruce Wayne. And we would be remiss as well if we didn't bring up the fact that, according to my calculations, this episode
you crunched the numbers, Niall.
Yeah, I've been looking into it. I believe this episode should be airing on Christmas Day.
Yes, Merry Christmas!
Yay.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. How's your Christmas all going? To keep up the illusion, we're doing this live. So, how's everyone's Christmas Day going?
I've been having a good morning.
I mean,
I've already started
to
drinking.
This, so obviously they've done something right in their lives. If that's how they're opening up their presents and listening to this, if there are any presents,
Well, this is the best present of all, surely.
But anyone get anything nice or?
No, nobody loves me. So
as adults, you just kind of lose that magic of it all because what people usually are getting you. Remember, as a kid, it's such a secret, but as an adult, you're like, oh, forget it. I told my husband what to buy me, to the Amazon link. I'm like, just get this. Don't buy the other one. This is the exact one. No room for creativity.
I have a different approach. I decide, I make an Amazon list, and I send it to my partner, but she can pick anything from the list is the idea. So it's still kind of a surprise, but she knows it's something that I do really want or need. So it's still kind of fun. What thing from the list is this? Because you can pick and choose. There'll be 50 things. Pick 3.
Yeah, I'm just used to now just getting money. And I was like, I'll buy myself whatever. And now I'm just used to, as an adult, going, I'll just buy myself something I want because I know that'll be a present that I'll enjoy. So I do a lot. Usually all my Christmas T-shirts arrived. I ordered that back in September. I'll order it to my dad's house, so I won't get it until I go home for Christmas.
Well, I hope everyone is having a nice Christmas drink with this. Come on, you need to get in the spirit.
Yeah, spirit is right.
Yeah. And if you're not into Christmas, if you're just maybe you're not even Christian.
Doesn't matter. You should still be celebrating Christmas. I'm not Christian. I celebrate Christmas every year.
Hell yeah, same here.
Exactly. It's too fun. Christmas is barely Christian anyway. If we're perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree, all 90% of the traditions have come from everything that wasn't Christian. Yes, we have the Jesus, that's the old thing, but the trees, the lights, all that's from elsewhere.
Yeah, and I love that. It's great. Everyone can get involved.
Let us know once again this year will no doubt be failing in my quest to get a Christmas goose.
A goose?
I keep hearing about them.
You are attempting to get a goose. Like the goose, the animal that you eat, they're mean.
Yeah, because no, I don't want a live one. I want to refer to.
Are you sure you don't want to fight it from Star Trek style? You can play that music,
Yes.
Come on, that would be epic.
Is that not the true meaning of Christmas?
An axe.
I've already been mentally scarred by having a goose chase me at one point, so no, I don't want to take them on.
Geese are really mean. I've gotten chased by a goose too. Like,
Yeah.
Just nasty animals. I mean, I don't know what they taste like. They might taste delicious. I like duck. I assume a goose. Have you ever seen geese eggs, like at the grocery store? They're like dinosaur eggs. It's like, what the hell? I'm supposed to eat this?
Amazing. I've not been chased by a goose, but I had a standoff with a goose on Christmas Eve 2 years ago because it was.
Were you trying to kill it for your dinner?
I was trying to eat it live, yes. But no, I was walking home from work and it was just in the middle of the pavement because I walked through a park and it was just standing there and it caught my eye and I caught its eye and we both just kind of froze on the spot like, what do we do? And then we kind of edged around each other slowly,
Did it start shaking its tail? Like, I always find that that's the point where it's going to get mad at you. Like, the tail starts to wag. It's like, it's not like a dog. It's like the opposite of a dog. If a goose's tail wags, that means you're f***ed. So that's what I've found out.
I've only just noticed as well because I've got the minute pause, like the visual. And
Batman.
Yeah, but I've gone slightly before, and the little hand browser with the finger. I didn't realize until I just looked over. It's right over, just underneath Alfred's nose. So just like Alfred's picking his nose.
Oh, good. God damn it.
Yeah.
We should probably announce what minute this is, Niall.
Oh yeah, well I did say it was minute 76, and the way.
Yeah, but you know.
But yeah, this I was going into my side tangent about the fact that I've always wanted a goose for Christmas, and I always get turkey, and it's just like. It's my Muppets Christmas Carol, just having Tiny Tim going, the goose, the goose. It's like, why have I never had this thing? But anyway.
Can you find, like, I actually have not eaten a goose. I think I've eaten, like, a partridge. I've eaten a pheasant. I've eaten, like, wood pigeon. But a goose just does not make it onto the menu. I don't know why. Maybe
I think it's because it takes so long to cook it. I mean, I don't know.
Turkeys
I'm
take a long time,
Well, apparently it's even longer. I mean, I'm a new vegetarian, so I'm never going to get to sample this now.
You'll be back.
Lame.
You ain't seen the last of a steak, John. I'll tell you that.
Nah, it's tofurkey for me.
Oh, no, don't. Just eat some, like, I find that whenever I try to become vegetarian, I just end up eating a crap ton of cheese. Like,
yeah, that is the problem.
So cheese.
Every vegetarian meal in restaurants is just, we'll just substitute the meat for some kind of cheese. It'll be fine. But Batman.
Oh yeah, but I will say that like this week, these series of minutes, I regard as been like the worst scene in the whole movie. So like I've been on plenty of these where I've been like, this is the greatest thing ever. But this bit is like, no, this is the one scene I have legitimate beef with. So
oh God,
yeah, just gonna we'll get into that as we go.
Well, I mean, looking at this sort of short bit of Bruce drinking his lovely cup of tea that he was made in the previous minute. What kind of tea do you think these guys go for? This is the first thing that came to my mind.
I assumed he was actually just drinking water, and like
in a teacup.
In the teacup, yeah, absolutely. Like
that's very Batman actually, because he wouldn't want to pollute his body with any kind of. He's a bit straight edge, I imagine.
He's just gonna have like that Pepsi tattoo.
That's not typical of billionaire playboys to be straight edge. I always wondered that. Like they always play down in the Batman movies how many people he bangs. Like he always has like a love interest, but I'm like, isn't that the whole point of Bruce Wayne is that he's just banging everybody? I mean, his true love is Selena Kyle, but he's banging everybody.
He definitely is in the other movies. In this one, he's a bit different, isn't he? He kind of doesn't even want to keep up any pretense of being a playboy in this one. It's quite odd.
Yeah, this movie, we've talked about it before, but it seems as if it's almost like Vicki Vale is like the first woman he's had in a long time, and he's not even really too sure if he wants to keep her around. So it's very like you don't get the vibe of.
Well, when it comes to this particular scene, it's funny because like the minutes that you sent me, because I guess we'll go over it when we do. But like there was a thought that came to my mind about that. Like I'm like, huh? Are you really gonna? Okay, we'll talk about it when we get there. But
that's exciting.
But we get this little bit of Bruce, and then.
Well, I have a question still. Sorry, with the tea. Because I had a theory on what tea they would both drink.
Okay.
How very British.
It is, isn't it? Yes. And Alfred, he strikes me as an Earl Grey man.
Yes, I actually agree with that. I think he's totally an Earl Grey man because he's very posh.
Or a Lady Grey.
Very posh.
Something delicate, maybe a bit floral, maybe. And Bruce, I thought he would go for something, if he's drinking tea, of course, if he's not straight edge and in the extreme. He'd have something more robust. I'm thinking an Assam. A malty, deep, heavy
I think he would
tea.
like a detox one, like like one of those ginseng or something like that. Like, all right, I need that.
Oh, he could.
Because he trained in like Asia, so I was like, that's where he picked up his tea drinking. It would have been some type of Asian super tea that you can only buy from like some Shaolin monks up in the hills of God knows a province you can't pronounce.
Oh God, yeah, picked by monkeys. Or...
That's where he bought his tea.
He probably does get it shipped in from there. To be honest, he's that kind of guy.
Oh yeah.
Everything he has, which isn't for a billionaire, not a lot. Like he collects things but doesn't have any interest in them. He just sort of gets them for appearances.
He's
like,
a typical one percenter.
yeah. But with even less interest than them. He's just like...
It's like, you could have spent your money giving it to some orphans. Nah, I'm going to collect some crap, some expensive art.
We do, though, as Alfred, as he wanders off, and we get, he's after just saying, we discussed in the previous minute of, she may be, the woman you want to tell that you're Batman.
Of course, that's because he banged her, and she's blonde and hot.
Yeah, obviously we got Alfred dandering off there, and Bruce does a little sort of expression of, maybe he's got something there.
He's pondering it, isn't he? He's considering actually doing it.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think he takes like such little like I'd assume that this would be like a huge like moment for you. If you're gonna reveal that you're a superhero, it's like, I better. Is she the one? I might as well pop the question. No, it seems a little too casual for me. Like, yeah, we just started dating. I think she might be the one. But, I might as well tell her I'm Batman. I'm like, what? No, buddy. Take it slow.
And his reaction there, he's kind of like, oh, yeah, I suppose maybe I should tell her. Yeah, nice one, Alfred. Thanks. It's very casual. It's not like, oh, my God, this is life-changing. This is going to be a huge moment for me. Everything's going to be different from now.
Like, I trust this person so much that literally only, it's essentially only Alfred at this point that knows he's Batman.
Yeah.
So it's like...
It's just really with Vicki, it's just like, I trust her so much, I spent several hours with her.
Yeah, we even banged that one time.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a lot for this guy in this movie anyway. He doesn't spend more than 2 seconds with anyone.
But we get cutting then to Vicki Vale's, what's going to soon be revealed to be Vicki Vale's apartment. And, ding dong, classic. The old classic doorbell chime. I prepared a list of all the best doorbell chimes because the minute's so loud.
Play all the doorbells now. Put sound effects in.
Where was it that she worked again?
Now.
Because her apartment is pretty expensive looking.
Yeah, she's supposed to be working for the Gotham Globe, just like the...
Yeah, okay, so she's a journalist. So she should be living in a studio apartment underneath, a freaking train station.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's a nice place. Like, what grandma died and left you it? Because, we're from that generation. Like, come on. Every movie, that's the one thing that starts to get to me now. It's like, look how nice these people live and look at their jobs. Oh, you work in advertising? What does that make? Like $50,000 a year? Oh, yeah. But your house costs $700,000? Yeah, no, something's not added up.
It offends me the most when it's just a show where they work in a coffee shop. And somehow they've got this amazing apartment. It's like, yeah, but two of them live together because they can't afford it on their own. It's like, I don't care.
It's like, okay, so you live in the hip side of Manhattan. And one's a cook, one's works at a coffee shop, and one does massages. Those were the three chicks. I'm like, I am so sorry. That is not what's happening. One should be a lawyer, and an accountant. Wall Street, lawyer, and then accountant. That's what'll afford that place.
Hey, if I could get by working in a coffee shop, I'd be doing that right now. I would quit any job I have just to go and work in a coffee shop. That'd be great. Yeah. I would like that, just chilling out, serving coffee. Lovely day.
The one that's most annoying me recently is I've been watching Easy on Netflix.
I haven't seen that one.
And but it's got a thing with Dave Franco's in it for a couple episodes. It's all about him starting his own microbrewery, and it's it cuts to them a year later. He's got a wife and a kid, and he's all he does is brew beer, and it's just there's no way you could afford all this stuff. Money doesn't seem to be an issue to him at all, and it's where the hell does all this money come from?
Especially microbreweries, who always end up getting screwed over by local governments. Always, this happened in Florida. They banned, not banned, but they almost half banned microbreweries. They were because they were lobbied by the big companies. Whoa. They were they just don't meet the same health and safety standards, even though they did. They were no, you have to essentially sell them to a bigger company, and then the bigger companies are allowed to sell directly to the bars. They wouldn't let them sell directly to the bars anymore.
Oh god.
Yeah,
That's
it was
bad.
like
I
it was
don't
such
like
a
that.
that's just how it happens sometimes. It's like ridiculous. Anyway, yes, your point is correct. I've never seen anyone do that. Let's face facts, unless you invent, even people who make apps, even good apps, it's like, oh, that's a great app. Thanks, I bought my 1-bedroom condo. I'm like, wow, good for you. Yeah.
Well, it's the same actually. Niall, you said in that show, because I saw on Netflix they had that show Flaked.
Oh yeah.
Is it? And he's living a real nice life. He's just chilling out all day. He just rides around Hipsterville on his bicycle drinking kombucha, and his job he's a sommelier. Like, who exists as a sommelier in the world? This is a thing apparently.
Where's this show take place? In Portland?
It's like California or something.
Which is ridiculously expensive too. So it's like everyone I know who lives in California works 80-hour weeks. The ones in the creative industry anyway, 80-hour weeks. No one owns their own place. They, the Ubers are considered all right, we'll take an Uber here and there. That's about it. That's the highlight of our week.
But somehow Vicki, I mean, she's a successful journalist.
Yeah, but even a successful journalist, she's not exactly the editor-in-chief. Oh, you're a good journalist,
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
That's a nice place. That's a lovely, overlooking the city, penthousey looking, high ceilings. Well, no, not too high,
huge.
actually, but it is nice. It's huge. It's huger probably than most people's her living room is bigger than most people's entire houses or flats.
I've definitely lived in smaller flats
me too.
than this.
But I will say, when Vicki answers the door, obviously, Bruce appears and he's got little. They just look really, really pathetic as well, a little pink rose and a little white.
Oh
one.
my god!
It's just
You are a freaking billionaire, and that's what you're giving her, kerosene. Is that to be kind of seem meek? I just got you these flowers.
Doesn't want to show off. 2 individual flowers.
I don't want to try too hard because it'll seem I'm just overdoing it. No, please.
I get the impression he just ripped them out of someone's flower bed on the way there. Oh, they'll do.
Oh Christ, yeah, I better show up with something. Although he literally looks even with the tie and the haircut and the glasses and the 2 little kind of wilty flowers.
They are kind of wilty. You could tell those were done in those wet flowers were used in about 12 different takes.
Yeah, been there all
12.
Yeah,
what do the flowers look like? They're not looking too good. Maybe that's what they had. They probably had a dozen flowers, and they're like, "Oh crap! If we keep using the same ones, they're all wilt. All right, just bring 2."
or they're the only ones that survived all the other takes. They're just one less each time.
Oh, I've gone through moments like that where a lot of stuff has been destroyed in takes. So it's all right, get this shot because we don't have another one.
But he looks to me, fans of Simpsons meme pages will know they had a template with the dud from the episode where...
Oh, yeah. He's the dud. Looks like you.
Yeah, that's it.
Stand up for yourself, Poindexter. He's being mean to Milhouse.
I might actually make that. I'll just put oh, it's the dud and just put a picture of Bruce Wayne with those flowers. That's the same freaking guy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, is this his attempt at dressing up for, wooing her back to him? Because he looks like he's going to a business meeting.
Well, maybe it's the 80s. He's very yuppie. So it's all right, I better...
True.
Better...
Maybe that's her type. Yeah, that could be
She's
kind of thing.
An obviously wealthy journalist, who inherited from her rich great aunt this lovely apartment. She's used to a high class of men, even though she knows he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But as well, I think as Bruce comes in, she kind of storms off and he follows her in. And beside the door, can you guys see this thing? I can't see. It looks like it might be a chair, but the legs are insanely long. It's you'd have.
Oh yeah,
it's one of those art chairs, back in the 80s and 90s. Because I remember everybody used to have black furniture with silver. Does anyone remember that time period where everybody's furniture was black?
No,
because that's what I remember.
I quite like that.
It was the typical I don't know, not bachelor thing, but I don't know. My mom was really into that. I remember our entire freaking living room being black leather with silver, feet or silver, upholstery. Something is silver.
I was going to say I'm into that, but then that sounded a bit weird.
Yeah,
bringing
I'm
up
into
leather.
that.
No. No, I think that's actually Niall. I think that is
Tim Burton-ish?
the desk where you put the phone. Because remember, people used to have a kind of little. They would have a desk for the phone. They would have the phone book. They would have a notepad. You know, you'd have like a little assortment of very important things that just are completely irrelevant to our lives
You're
now.
right. I kind of like vaguely remember somebody having like a phone, like it was like your not office, but yeah, you'd have like that nearby because it was always on a cord, so you'd have to have it there.
Yeah. Like, who even has a phone book now? I mean, they send me them. And
Do
I
they
just
even make them anymore?
Apparently.
They still make them?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They turn
I
up
haven't
and I
had one,
throw them away. I put them in the recycling straight away.
They shouldn't make them anymore. I think that they're like, a waste of money. It's like Google exists.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I think the phone books only exist now for, like, strong men to tear in half. Like, that's the only reason to keep them around. It's like, oh, we need to think for these guys to tear in half. But yeah, like, Bruce wanders in. He does the line, nice apartment, lots of space.
Yeah, let me stop you there, right? Nice apartment. Right, it's huge, as we said. But it's horrible.
It looks like Bruce Wayne should own that apartment.
Yeah. Well, I'd hope he'd have better taste, though, because it's disgusting. It's horrible. And it's cold.
80s.
It's sterile.
It's that yuppie 80s, though.
But the color scheme, and then the walls look like the kind of walls of a hospital or something with that weird brick. I don't even know what the hell that is. I hate everything about this. Get rid of it.
No, I mean, like, come on. If someone gave you that, you just have to, like, redecorate. Be like, I'll take it, but we're just going to have to get rid of everything in here.
True. Maybe she's just moved in. She has only just come into town. So, yeah.
That's true. This is probably, for her great aunt, decorated it like this, and she just kind of took over. She's like, right.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. We're onto something.
I think so. I think this is a good theory. This explains why that's right. She just moved in. So even if she's a successful journalist, like how successful is she? She just started a new job,
But I didn't realize that you felt so strongly about home decor, John, that the fact you're like, it's disgusting. It's like, I thought it.
Look at this.
Yeah, I was like, it's a bit cold, but I wouldn't be like, oh, it's horrible. I physically want to vomit looking at this apartment.
Hey, I might present a punk rock exterior, but, I like a nicely decorated house as much as the next guy.
But I will say someone who is looking very good in this is Vicki. Because I guess now it's because of the Batman's cracked his code. She shows up really kind of dressed to the nines, stands to the door, like lipstick, the hair's crimped and all that.
Yeah, like she's not wearing sweatpants like you should be. Like if you were at home doing nothing, you're going to be dressed like crap because let's just face facts. That's what we all do when we get home.
That's what I'm doing now.
Your most comfy pants, if you're even wearing pants, and your hair's a mess and you're like, fuck, I'm going to make myself a sandwich.
Yeah, she dressed up in the hopes that he comes over. Like, what is the point in this?
We know this game.
Yeah, but she was like, when he rang the doorbell, she was really like, oh, coming, like very excited. And then when she seen him, the instant it turned into like Ice Queen of like, oh, you. I was like, was she expecting somebody else to come?
Oh, do you think Knox?
Yeah, good point.
Maybe she wanted to have a date with Knox.
I doubt that. I don't think even the most desperate of situations, she was like, oh, maybe I'll shack up with Knox for a bit.
Okay, well, maybe she's got a few friends coming over and they're going to go hit the town. They're going to cheer her up after all this crap she's been through.
Oh, yeah. I like the idea because it's broad daylight. So it's like, oh, day drinking. That's the best drinking. That's what I'm doing right now.
Well, what time of year is it? It depends. Like, if it's summer, that might be like 7 p.m.,
Oh, no, we've estimated it's around Halloween time. So.
Oh, if that's the case, then yeah. If it's that should be like 4 o'clock then. The sun looking like that, maybe like 3 even.
Well, day drinking is acceptable sometimes.
And also, is it a Saturday? Is she not working? Isn't she a successful journalist? How many days?
Oh man, to be fair, like she on a work day also took like hours off to stalk Bruce Wayne earlier in the movie. So I think she just kind of comes and goes whenever she wants.
And she's being all weird about it. Like, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, excuse me, stalker. You're the one who's like acting all strange. If anything, you've broken quite a few rules in the dating game.
But even that, if we were to take it though, the reason that she's a bit more dressed up is to sort of indicate like, yeah, the crisis is over of like, the cosmetics been poisoned. But at the same time, during that crisis, when she was going on the date, the whole museum scene, she still looked amazing. Whereas like the journalists on TV look like absolute crap. So it's like, I don't know, was that supposed to be dressed down, Vicki? Or what
I'm wondering, because she's not a TV journalist. She's a newspaper journalist, right?
Yeah.
Like okay, I used to be a journalist back in the day. That's what my degree was in.
Oh.
And yeah, I'll tell you that. Like TV journalists, yes, they always look dressed to the nines, good makeup, hair always done right. But newspaper journalists, no goddamn way. That's what I went into. Frumpiest freaking people you'll ever meet. Because what the hell does it matter? You're like, screw it. I'll just show up in goddamn Bermuda shorts and like a sweater that's like 5 times too big. And where's my flip flops? God, I can't even find the same flip flops. I'll take one of each different color, different Oscar. I'm in a hurry.
That'd be quite a fashionable look these days.
Yeah, I think people will think it's really hip.
Yeah, because I imagine because she's like, particularly supposed to be a photojournalist. So like, you imagine, like, usually you see like other portrayals of photojournalists as like big kind of fat guys with shorts and always have those kind of cargo vest jacket things. And always got like 5 cameras around their neck and stuff. It's like, Vicki Vale does not give off that at all. She's very...
She did not. She wasn't in Afghanistan, running around trying to, take pictures of like children as they're being blown up. She
was in the Cordo Maltese. That's her claim, is taking these wartime photos. So I guess maybe she's come back and she's like, I'm so glad to be away from that. I'm going to use being back in America as like I get to dress up and be fancy again.
Well, I saw on IMDb, right? Oh, yes, everybody loves IMDb. The goofs. It said a goof was something you mentioned, Niall. It's that, Joker's contaminated the cosmetics, but Vicki still gets done up to the nines. But hang on a minute. Joker's only contaminated new cosmetics.
Yeah.
Like, she just has these laying around. That's not a goof. What the hell? These are old. Like, your lipstick doesn't last a day, does it?
Yeah. Unless he was just worried, like, maybe people were worried that, like, we don't know how long. Because he does say in the advert, like, chances are you've bought them already. So it could be like, you've had them in your house for like a week now.
Yeah, it's called throwing it out. Don't even bother. Like, if I found out, like, all my cosmetics might be poison, it's called don't use them. That's what you do. It's like, all right, oh no, I can't wear lip gloss and eyeliner. What'll I ever do?
She might have bought these, though, before she went off to do the war photography. You come back, this happens,
but
you're like,
it goes bad after a while, so you can't actually use your cosmetics for more than about a year. I mean, some people do because who gives a crap, but you're technically So, and knowing that she's a high fashion, expensive apartment owning woman with, perfectly done up hair, I assume she does not use expired makeup.
Good point. Do you think maybe Bruce has a collection of makeup in the house? So when women do come over, he can help
I mean, if he actually is a playboy, like, legend says, but we never actually see in any incarnation of Batman on screen, honestly.
Well,
not enough, really.
No, okay. I've always been told this, like, he's a billionaire playboy. And I'm like, all right, look, the closest I've ever seen to that is maybe the 1990s animated version where you see at least he goes on a few dates with other people. But he was still, like, into Selena Kyle. Like, that was always his main squeeze.
Yeah, I think usually with Christian Bale, you'll show up places with like women on his arm, and then they just disappear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think it was even when I guessed it on with the DCEU minutes, or DC Cinematic minutes. Sorry, we're doing the scene of Bruce Wayne waking up in his kind of lake house thing, and he has a woman just lying next to him in the bed, and he's got like an empty bottle of wine and stuff. And it's kind of the indication there. It's like, this is Bruce Wayne. He goes out shagging around town, and this is just some model he picked up. But I was at the time was like, who is this woman? Is that Selena Kyle? Is that somebody? Like, is there? You think they would have a little Easter egg of them? Like, this is a woman. Maybe that's Silver St. Cloud or someone like that.
The thing is, you always get told like, basically Bruce Wayne is a boy, essentially. Like, he's off doing this and that. But because the movies always take quite a personal look, they always try to humanize him. The things that always get left out of Batman's personality is, yes, technically he's an evil 1%er who beats up on the lower class, because that's what all these people, all these henchmen are.
That's a very interesting way of looking at that, actually, because there's a Superman comic where Superman, instead of landing in America, he lands in the Soviet Union.
Yeah, I saw that.
And it's like it's Red Sun. It's a different perspective on it. And Batman is in it. But Batman he's like a hero of the people, much like Superman. But it would be more interesting to me if, the people didn't like this rich guy beating on the poor and the downtrodden.
Honestly, like, Batman, should he have existed nowadays, people would hate him. He's like Donald Trump, like, oh God, look at it, banging all these women, not giving a crap about them. He's drinking with them. Well, he must be manipulating them. Plus, he's just super rich, and he just does he really, like, you hear about his parents' foundation? Oh yes, my parents, they give a lot to charity. I'm like, all right, and you dress up like a bat and you go around fighting crime, which is ridiculous. Like, why don't you build some schools and put some rehab centers in there? Like, I think that might be a bit of a better option.
Yeah, because as bad as Gotham is, like, because it's portrayed as a bad place. I mean, these people haven't really got a lot of options in this city, have they? There's hardly legitimate work unless you're a journalist, apparently.
Yeah. Then you're banking, getting the bucks.
Although again, the journalists have it good in Gotham. Knox is the only person I think we see who has, like, noticeably see him in, like, the same clothes on a couple of scenes. Like, he has the same tie every other day, and it's like you kind of get the vibe like, yeah, that's all you can afford. Whereas, like, oh no, Vicki Vale's just swaggered into the office and apparently is just like, yep, just got everything, just like, everything. Won't appear in the same dress twice, never the same shoes, anything like that. But I would be actually, should be mentioned as well. It's currently ongoing, so I don't know what angle they'll go with. But there is the comic that's coming out currently, White Knight, which is about the Joker turning sane. Eddie, him and Harley Quinn launch an anti-Batman campaign, basically on that kind of same tangent of, like, who is this guy? Who does he think he is? This guy is clearly quite wealthy, who's able to afford to come in and, just does whatever he wants around our city and launches a whole campaign against Batman from the
only movie that's ever even questioned that was the Lego Batman.
It's weird. The Lego Batman movie is, like, in terms of the treatment of the characters, it's one of the most, like, in-depth kind of looks at Batman. It's like, like, you look at it, it's like, they really get this character. Like, they get what he's supposed. They're doing it in a very funny way, but, like, they totally get the Joker-Batman relationship. They're like, Batman doesn't regard the Joker as anything close to him. He's like, oh, he's just one of the many things that I have to deal with, and the Joker's insanely jealous of, like, what do you mean I'm not your arch nemesis, and things like that. It's that's all, like, I feel like a lot of the things the Joker does is a type of affection, and he's just looking for attention for someone he kind of likes in a weird way. And it's like, but
you know who doesn't like a certain someone at this moment? Vicki. She rightfully, finally, after all this time, takes Bruce to task.
Yeah.
For constantly screwing her around. Because she says that she's called and called, got no replies. Bruce lied to her about having to leave town, which he did do.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah,
Screw this
totally.
guy.
100%. Although at the same time, he could be like, how did you know? I guess he did bump into her at the steps of the whole shootout. So, but if he hadn't that, it would have been like, well, how do you know I didn't?
Well, yeah, no, he deserves to get yelled at. I don't know what it is. I guess I'm so used to, like, Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne, and everything's gotten so dark and grimy that it's almost like lighthearted. It's like, oh, look at Michael Keaton. He's too lovable to be Bruce Wayne. Hi, yes, it's Bruce Wayne. Sorry. Like, he's so apologetic. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
I think I wonder as well, as he got a kind of game plan going, because we saw it at the door. It was bespeckled Bruce Wayne. We've seen him with the glasses a few times. But I'm beginning to wonder now what these glasses are for. So he's showing up at her door, here's the glasses, and then he immediately takes them off when he gets into the apartment. So it's like, was he using them as a kind of ploy of, like, a kind of, alluding to a minute that'll happen later on, like, hey, you wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you? Like, this sort of, if I show up, and he even fondled, like, when she first talking to him, he kind of touches the glasses a little bit, kind of making them look a little more, I'm sorry, like, very kind of vulnerable. Hey, it's just me. It's just Bruce.
Just trying to put her guard down.
Yeah. It's less threatening, maybe.
Yeah, and then the glasses come off all of a sudden, and he's just like, oh, that didn't work. Apparently they're all for show.
Yeah. Well, I think he's about to tell her, possibly, he's going to tell her that he's Batman. He wants to explain why he's been doing all this crap, why he's screwing her around. But the minute ends.
Yeah.
There's a cliffhanger. What a perfect cliffhanger for the episode.
And this moment we still have sort of apologetic, polite Bruce. Will that change within the next minute? Potentially, yes. But you'll have to find out Wednesday for that kind of info. So
yeah, run off and enjoy your Christmas day. God damn it, we haven't mentioned it's Christmas. Yeah. Go. Ho, ho, ho.
I thought Naughty Holder himself came in there with that... It's Christmas. It's to do it at the back of the throat.
It's Christmas. I can't do it.
I still have the vision of him his house every November, just seeing like he just hears it's like all the royalty checks just landing in at the one time. And he's like, there we go, that's naughty for another year. And never have to lift a finger.
Go and enjoy. Have fun. See your family. Do something else other than listen to us. But before we do go, Stephanie, do you have anywhere our good listeners can find you or your work online?
Yes, you can probably find me. The easiest is on YouTube or on Facebook, and I am Caffeine Jedi and not Caffeine Jedi. People always get that wrong. So Caffeine, Caffine, as in calf and fine, Jedi. And if you just look me up on YouTube...
I also thought it was caffeine.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's caffeine because it's caffeine misspelled. It was an inside joke of like 15-year-old me. Like that sounded like a good idea at the time. And then, of course, it's just like I never bothered to change it. Should have, because it just screws with people.
Well, yes, check that out, definitely. And check us out. We're all over the net, everywhere you can think of. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we do have a Tumblr we never use. Just look us up at Batminute89. Yes, Tumblr. That's where we get all the Batman fanfic that we read in the on the off days, which I'm sure we will review.
I'm ready. You've been reading Batman fanfic without me? This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, you have to dip your toe into the /fic world.
Dude, I have read some stuff. It's just it hurts your soul.
Oh, God. We're bringing that up on Wednesday. And, so, yes, join us again. On Wednesday, we'll be back with minute 77 of Batman. Next time. Now this is pushing things. As a gabbling gadabout gets given a going over by a galled gal, will a sharp bat shove subdue the situation in a shameful style? Find out Wednesday. Same Bat Pod.
Different Bat Minute.